Good evening, and thank you for joining us here at 5 on this Thursday evening. I'm Moses Small. Tammy Melchak has a night off.
And I'm Jim Scott. Thank you for stopping in this hour. We begin our newscast tonight with more in our continuing coverage of fentanyl. The synthetic painkiller so lethal, just touching it can bring a full-grown man to his knees. New information tonight on the 1-year-old Bakersfield boy who nearly died from fentanyl exposure and his parents are now in custody. 17's Robert Price reports.
So many victims of the illicit opioid fentanyl are in their teens, in their 20s, and their early 30s. Well, this week in Bakersfield, a new low, a 1-year-old.
Yes, a 1-year-old. And if fentanyl can do this to a fully grown man, a police officer wearing protective gloves, what might it do to a child? The incident is alleged to have happened here at the Edgewater Apartments on Kroll Way, literally next door to the dorm towers at CSU Bakersfield. Somehow ingested fentanyl, a drug 50 times more potent than heroin, and typically used as a substitute for that street opioid. Police suspect the baby came into contact with paraphernalia. The child was hospitalized in stable condition and is now in the custody of Child Protective Services. Arrested were the boy's parents, John Lawson, 20, and Gabriella Goldberg, also 20. District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer said the parents have bailed out of jail and face arraignment February 7th. Efforts to contact them have been unsuccessful so far. The case has not yet been referred to the DA's office, which, according to Zimmer, already has a number of cases on its plate involving fentanyl, which is deadly in minute quantities.
It doesn't take very much to become poisoned by it at all. 2 to 3 milligrams is a lethal dose. So think how lethal it could be for a baby that's 20 pounds.
A neighbor of the arrested couple, Taylor Stevenson, said the apartment complex looked like a crime scene because it was.
We didn't see anybody get pulled out of the apartment or anything, but it was definitely like a lot of commotion for hours.
News of the incident hit home because she and her husband have a baby girl, Everly, who's almost 1. Street drugs these days?
Don't trust anything, and so it's just like to think about that around like little kids is it's so sad. They don't know.
Last year, more than 200 people died from fentanyl overdoses in Kern County. It can take as little as 2 milligrams of the drug, the equivalent of 5 to 7 grains of salt, for a deadly dose, and it's often mixed with other illegal drugs like heroin, cocaine, and counterfeit oxycodone pills. If amounts that small could be deadly to an adult, how great a risk is fentanyl to a small child?
The lesson? Your drug use might not just affect you personally, it can affect everyone in your household. In West Bakersfield, Robert Price, 17 News.
Now, if you have information regarding this incident, you are urged to contact the Bakersfield Police Department at 327-7111. And if you want to learn more about the fentanyl epidemic in general, you're encouraged to watch a forum hosted by Bakersfield Recovery Services and local law enforcement on the dangers and the effects this drug poses to our community. You can watch it tonight, 6:30 p.m. on kget.com or the KGET Facebook page. We'll have more on that forum tonight on 17 News at 11. And for comprehensive reporting on the fentanyl crisis, including Robert Price's in-depth series, Fentanyl, the Counterfeit Killer, visit our website, kget.com/fentanyl. In those reports, there are numerous profiles of local families that have lost loved ones to fentanyl. And there are also information about resources that you can use to protect.
A mother whose child died from fentanyl poisoning has organized a candlelight vigil for those lost to the deadly drug. Keir Butterworth organizing Light a Candle for a Loved One event, which is scheduled for next Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Park and Riverwalk in Southwest Bakersfield. Butterworth lost her daughter to a fentanyl overdose. The public is invited to come down and light a candle in remembrance for all those struggling with addiction and for those who succumb to drugs and alcohol.